welcome back to another episode of Why I Love BNI, your podcast spotlighting different members and different businesses on what they love about their business and, of course, being a part of the BNI family. So today, I'm super excited to have my guest Brad with us today. Brad, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited. Your family are just, amazing. I've known your wife for a while now as she's a part of BNI in St. Augustine. And of course, you joined my mom's BNI chapter here in Palm Coast. So I've heard a lot of great things. We had an amazing one-to-one a few weeks ago, and you just gave us so many great knowledgeable tips when it comes to stuff that you do. So without further ado, I'll let you kind of start and just tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
So I'm Brad Russell, owner of First Light Home Inspections. Um, we inspect your house, whether you're buying, selling, going through the insurance process as far as shopping. Rates are a little high. There's a couple inspections that may help you.
Hmm.
Um, a wind mitigation inspection is a wonderful tool, depending on when your home was constructed, how it's constructed. There are discounts there that the carrier can give you. Um, it's basically how your roof is nailed down. Do you have impact windows, any kind of coverings? How old is your roof? What that roof to wall connection looks like. Um, it's a wonderful tool to put out there to your insurance company to see if you qualify for those discounts.
Hmm.
I've been in the construction industry. I was a superintendent for a major remodel firm out of Atlanta. A very extensive construction background. We read plans, engineering, blueprints, all of that. New construction is one of our biggest specialties. We start from the minute they form your foundation to the last coat of paint where they're inspecting through that process.
Wow.
Same with buyers inspections when you're buying a home. That's your opportunity
Mm.
to get ahead of problems, to find out if that problem's a big one. Do you want to tackle? And same with pre-listing inspection. So if you're selling your home, that's your opportunity to kind of see what's going on. There's nothing sneaky, and put you in the driver's seat a little bit.
Yeah, so that's super cool. And I'm so glad that you brought up the insurance one because when you shared that with my family, we were like, we had no idea that certain inspections, you could have already bought the house, it's a few years into being a homeowner. You go, oh, I don't need an inspection whatsoever, right? I'm not selling right now, or blah, 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 blah. We already got it inspected 5 years ago. I'm sure everything is the same as 5 years ago.
Right.
But then those are some of the maintenances. Um, I think you gave us how often do you recommend getting your home inspected just to see if any checkups or if anything needed to be done?
So you really want your home inspected, obviously, if you're selling, if you're buying,
Mm-hmm.
if you're shopping for insurance, depending on the type of construction.
Mm.
If it's an older home, you want to have the foundation checked here and there. If
Mm.
you're prone to flooding or water standing in the yard, you want to have those areas checked. We do our own wood destroying organism inspections as well.
Whoa,
Uh, that needs to be done annually. We're in
gotcha.
Florida. The average is 13.7 colonies per acre. It doesn't matter if you're a block home or not, they don't care. Um, think of your slab, your foundation as a big shaded umbrella.
Mm.
Find that nice spot and they will still find a way to get in your home. Only takes a 32nd of an inch.
Wow. Okay. So there's different maintenances that definitely need to be done. And those are some of the biggest things when it's becoming a homeowner is like, how often do I check for some of these things? Do I need to check more often, less often? Does it change more often? And then of course, obviously in Florida we have our lovely hurricanes.
Right,
Just
right.
norm or just not even like sometimes hurricanes, but sometimes we just get a lot of rain. It's not even a full-fledged hurricane. We just get rain sometimes, and then that I know can do stuff to your foundation, to your roof, to this and that. So it's always good
Right.
to have someone like Brad in your back pocket to ask questions.
When we have these nor'easters that blow through at 40, 50 miles an hour, you want to have your roof checked out.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
there are times where we will go, we know a hurricane's coming. Might not be direct hit kind of deal, but we will do a roof certification. We'll take pictures of your roof before the storm. come in after the storm, and that's something you can document and give to your insurer in case you do have a claim, in case you do lose shingles, in case you get some moisture in the home. You can show that we were in good shape before this storm, and
Right.
not doing so well.
To really like defend yourself. And a big thing that you also shared with us is a pre-listing inspection.
Right.
If you're looking to start selling your home, I mean, it's great to have someone be like, oh, you should fix this before you put it on the market. And then otherwise, if someone else finds out, it's harder
Yeah,
for you.
you have another inspector that comes in and you're completely unaware of maybe some moisture intrusion around a window. That could be a couple $100 fix or a couple $1,000 fix.
Ugh,
Um, Once again, that puts you in the driver's seat to where you can do something about it beforehand, and not have sneaky issues come and slow your process down or lose a buyer or whatnot. It just keeps you on top of it.
yeah. That it's great to know. Like I mentioned, it's something that you should always be checking out and making sure that you're crossing what's it called? Crossing your T's, dotting your I's and stuff like that. I was gonna mix it up for a second. I had to like stop myself, be like, how do you write a T? I don't
I
remember.
messed it up on purpose and now it is stuck and I
Uh
screw it up every time. So
Oh my gosh, I should like go in on all my old interviews because I think out of the 50 podcasts I've done for Why I Love BNI, I've always tried to say a saying, and I think about 75% of the time I actually get it wrong. And I don't, it's not even on purpose. It's not even like I just need to stay away from expressions is what I'm learning from myself.
so long, so long as everybody gets the gist, that's what really matters.
Yeah, as long as people get, the message I'm intending to send across. But when you came over for our one-to-one, you gave some really great success stories about being a part of BNI. Because not only are you a part of BNI, your wife is a part of BNI, and she's killing it with what she's doing. So do you want to share just a little bit on your family's journey of getting into BNI and how it's helped your business?
So my wife has always been a free-spirited serial entrepreneur. So she's always been involved in marketing and BNI, and it has been hugely successful. And when we launched our home inspection company, she got involved with the local chapter here in St. Augustine.
Mm,
That was 6 years ago now.
wow.
Um, really involved in the one-to-ones, really involved in leadership roles. She approached me about a year ago and said, look, you need to do this. There's a chapter forming. It's kind of out of my comfort zone. I like to go do inspections. I like to deal with my clients. Marketing is not my strong suit, but I've come to love it. I mean, I love going to the meetings every week. I love doing one-to-ones every week.
That's
It's
amazing.
it's an amazing journey and it pays off. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, you came over to our place for a one-to-one. Hopefully, you liked the tiramisu that I made.
Absolutely. That's the
That's
first thing
that
I said when I came home. I was like, she makes some really good tiramisu. So
you missed
careful.
out, Jennifer, next time for sure.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you come to our house for one-to-one is you get probably whatever thing I baked the week before. But it was super helpful for us because obviously, we're very new homeowners here in Florida, and it's a completely different ballgame than
It is.
Michigan. And on top of that, I'm obviously in that age bracket now. A lot of my friends are buying places or they
Mhm.
just bought a place. And there are so many things that I didn't know, and especially for when it happens to me as well. It's great to know just some simple tips to maintain your home and make sure you're always on top of it and you know it. And I'm sure being in a service as yours, where you have to check for roofing damages or this damage, or if there's more, it's like it's so helpful to have a BNI contact in your list, I'm sure, for all of your clients.
It is. It's something I was actually talking to somebody about over the weekend. It is amazing to have a guy or a gal, um, that you can just flip through your phone and say, "Hey, I got you. Here's a pressure washer. Here's a plumber." That is a huge benefit with BNI, and
Yeah.
it helps me with my clients when they have a certain situation. You know what? I got you. I got a guy. Here's his card. Give him a call.
And to also have, without a shadow of a doubt, being like, I know this gentleman or this lady, she's gonna take care of you. Like they're gonna take care of you. This will be a
Hmm.
great service. It'll be, whatever that price might be. I know that's always the biggest concern when people get things done to their home. They're like, oh well, I can't break the bank. And there's definitely that like level of like there's definitely there can be people who are overcharging for their work. But I
Mhm.
mean, when the job is good, the job is good, and it's worth
Absolutely.
it, especially for your home.
Right.
I think you shared with me how much of your business recently is BNI generated.
We are at 92% last year.
Wow, that's
Um,
incredible.
Even if it's a referral of a referral of a neighbor of a referral,
Wow.
it all traces back to BNI.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing tool. Even when we crunched the numbers, it was like, no way, that cannot be right. And
Yeah,
we did it again, and sure enough, it's wonderful.
that's incredible. And I think what's really special about that, it doesn't only just say, kudos to your BNI chapter, but kudos to you. Because BNI only works if you're putting the energy, you're putting in the correct energy. Um,
Absolutely.
and then that's how you're able to get that much business and get so much love from BNI is when people see you consistently show up, do the right thing for
Hmm.
your clients. That's how those referrals come.
Yep.
Awesome. Do you have any tips for anyone out there who's maybe getting newer into BNI? I know you're technically a little bit new to BNI, but also you were part of a launch chapter, and that like you guys went through stuff that I didn't even know was possible when it came to the level of education you're going to. So if anyone's newer to BNI than maybe you and I, what kind of tips would you have to them as we close out the podcast?
One-to-ones, one-to-ones,
Mm.
one-to-ones. Um, CEUs are great. The podcasts are amazing.
Mm.
I just recently got out and doing visitor hosts in a leadership position, and that's amazing. You just get more exposure, and that's the biggest thing is get to know your people, get that trust level up, and get the one-to-ones. I mean that's where it's at, where people get to know you as an individual instead of just a company,
Exactly.
and what you do. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
one-to-ones have been huge for our business.
That's amazing. One-to-ones are amazing. I mean, obviously this podcast is like a big one-to-one for me, and I learned so much about people's business
Mhm.
because obviously, I mean, our chapter only has 30 seconds. You guys only have 60 seconds. And sometimes there are things you're like, I don't even realize like I know very often I've heard people be like, "Well, this is a great referral for me." But then I get on that one-to-one and they go like, "Oh, well, this is a great referral for me and this is why. This is how
Yeah,
I help them. This is the
right,
success story that comes out of it." And that just makes the referral 10 times easier than it already was. So there's so
right.
many great things you learn on those one-to-ones. So that's a great tip.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Brad, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. You gave so many great tips. I like don't even know how I'm supposed to like pick them out. I think there's at least 30 in here, so I appreciate the time and for you coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Of course. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.